At the end of a week full of cancellations and postponements, the Oklahoma City Marathon has joined the list. Reporting for The Oklahoman, I'm Dave Morris, here at the Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum, where Executive Director Kari Watkins addressed the media. She spoke about the marathon being postponed until October 4th, the marathon joining other large races such as Boston and London in that delay. She also talked about the Memorial Museum being shut down for now, and also what is planned or what is being discussed for the memorial ceremony itself, the 25th anniversary ceremony, of course scheduled for April 19th, and the possible scenarios involving that.
Today we made a collective decision to close the museum, to look at how we'll do the April 19th ceremony, and to postpone the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon to October 4th.
Why did you guys decide to do this?
Well, in the interest of public health, we felt it was the best to look at the zip codes that we take in for admission. We know our database for the marathon runners and where they're coming from. And when you have a national emergency and we begin to look at that it's not in Oklahoma yet, we have to look at the next few weeks, and people are trying to plan and make their plans for future. And it just kind of all went together. We had a hard time understanding how we could keep a museum open and then not run the race, and when the same people from the same types of states are coming in here. And so it was a collective decision, a hard decision, obviously a tough decision for us, as it is for any institution, any nonprofit or for-profit business. I mean, but spring break week is not the week we would choose to close if we had our choices. We were packed today as the day went on, and we began to look at the impact of our visitation numbers and how big they were. It began to become more clear that we were bringing people in from other states into closed quarters, and didn't make a lot of sense to keep the museum open. It wasn't prudent, we didn't believe, to keep the museum open. And then April 19th ceremony, we'll evaluate that. We had a conscience committee call this afternoon with family members, survivors, and first responders who are on that committee, who make the plans for the April 19th ceremony. And we'll continue to evaluate that. We've got a little time. While it's a public event, it may be that we do a virtual ceremony and then do something when all this is behind us. But we'll make that decision in the coming weeks and communicate that to the family, survivors, and first responders. And the marathon, which is the largest race in Oklahoma, we've looked all week at an alternate date. We looked at other races, and we looked at when the streets were available, when the Cox Center was available, when hotels could accommodate our runners, and days that were available. And we were working with some other people now on those dates, and we believe October 4th is the date that we can make that all work. It changes the entire season of our race. And so we've been looking at this now for more than 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. We've been in daily discussions with City County Health and Emergency Management, trying to decide what was the best decision. And none of these decisions are easy. You're balancing emotions and science should win. I mean, as emotional and as powerful as this place is, our community public health outweighs everything. And when I had a family member tell me not one more person should die because of April 19th, that resonated with me, and it resonated with our board. And so we'll look at all these things. I mean, we wanted to make one decision and try to roll it out, and we'll continue to evaluate that. And we're incredibly disappointed. It's not what we wanted to do, but people want to be in church tomorrow and they can't go. I mean, we're all disappointed. We all want to be watching March Madness. We'd love to watch the Thunder. None of this is what any of us would want. We certainly didn't predict it. We're just, less than 45 days from the start line. And as I said earlier today, we'll still see people in this museum, on the grounds, at the finish line. It just won't be on the dates we thought we'd see them.
And then as far as altering the ceremony, are you guys considering anything outside of possibly doing something virtual? And then what has that reaction been from survivors and their family with this new news?
Well, I mean, we have a conscience committee, which is made up of the stakeholders. We'll evaluate that. It's a very personal decision for them. It's very emotional. I think we'll continue to have a ceremony and read the names. It may not just have a crowd. It may just be like what churches do tomorrow, where they're still preaching and teaching. It's just through a camera. And so we may do that on April 19th, and then when everything settles down, we can still retire the 168 patch out in the outfield of the Dodger Stadium and have a reunion and maybe have a service on the same day. I mean, those are things we have to look at, and we got to see how long this lasts, and if we can help calm that bell curve down and try to flatten it, the bell curve, and see if we can help with the community health in Oklahoma City. But this is a national institution with national visitors from across the nation. This is a national institution with visitors from across the nation, and people come here from all over the world, frankly. And when you begin to look at where they're coming from, it's no different than bringing people from the outside in. It's not just Oklahomans here. So while I know this hasn't grown from Oklahoma to Oklahoma, we were bringing outsiders in here into very close quarters where I have staff and volunteers and other people who are here, and I think we just had to make the best decision we could make regarding everyone's health. And that's what it comes down to. As important as this place is, it's still not more important than anyone's health. And that's the decision, the bottom line we had to get to today.
I know that the economic impact is not the most important thing that you guys are focusing on, but what kind of economic hit are you looking at?
Yeah, we have not. I can honestly say we have not tallied it up. We know the economic impact of the marathon weekend is $10 million. And so for the community, when you look at the people running restaurants and hotels and all the different things that are impacted, the running stores, all those people are impacted by this decision, as are people who are impacted by the Thunder's decision and other people's. It is, it begins to domino, and I hope there's a way we can all survive this. I mean, we did all survive it in 1995, and we're getting our chance to be a part of that survival now. And so I think I don't have a number for you. I really haven't stopped to run it. We have worked hard to build an endowment and to build a rainy day fund for tough times, and we're probably going to get a chance to use it. We'll tighten our belts, but our staff will still be working, and we'll use this time to. Ironically, we're in the middle of doing some museum enhancements. We'll use this time to do that in the daytime instead of paying overnight hours. Some ways, we can try to find the good in that. I just walked through the museum on my way down here and thinking about the changes we had that we're trying to make before April 19th, and we can do those in the midst of the daylight hours and not pay overtime for that. There'll be some opportunities that we'll make the best of.
When did you guys first start having these conversations, and when did you guys get to that point where you were like, that solidified the decision to make these changes?
I have to look at the calendar to be 100%. I think this is our third week in discussions. We have literally met with Oklahoma City County Health, Emergency Management, in consultation yesterday with museum directors all across the community. It's been an ongoing process over several weeks. I think we were close yesterday in knowing that it was coming. We weren't sure when. So we kind of mapped out our road plan. We thought we would do it about a month out of the marathon, which would be between somewhere March 23rd to 25th was kind of the dates I was targeting. And then overnight, when I began to see hospitals change visiting hours, nursing homes canceling visitation, people working remotely, some of the best scientists in Oklahoma looking at how they're handling their procedures. When I looked at the health side of it, the public health side of it, it became more important than the business side of it, and or the emotional side of it. And so we called a Zoom call of our conscience committee this afternoon, and I talked to our executive committee this morning. I talked to some key sponsors throughout the day, and we just, those who were closest to us we talked to. We didn't get everyone communicated with like we wish we could have, but it was moving very quickly. So, this race involves 3 cities, Oklahoma City, Nichols Hills, and the Village. We'll have to look and make sure all those streets are still available in October, and we may have to reroute a course or make a change. But everyone understands this is not a decision we came to or that we wanted to come to, and it wasn't one we came to lightly.
And then being a nonprofit, I know the question that a lot of people are wondering is there any way that they can help during this time?
Well, sure, you can go to Oklahoma City National, or you can go to memorialmuseum.com is our website, and you can donate there. The marathon is our largest fundraiser, but that's not really the focus of why we chose to move it or not move it. We moved it because of an interest of public health. And so we'll get through this hard times. We've certainly, we stand as the testament of a city who has done that before, and we'll stand as a testament to others who've done it again, and we'll do it together.
About how many runners had signed up and how many more were you expecting for this year?
So I think we'd surpassed the 15,000 mark yesterday, and we usually get between 9 and 10,000 in the last 30, 45 days. So we'll have an impact there, we know. But maybe we'll get some people we weren't going to get, and these people who we thought were going to run may be running a different race that weekend. And so it'll all balance out. It won't be the same race as it would have been on April 26th, but we'll make the very best of it and go forward.
Anything else we may have not known to ask that's important to get out there?
I think when you hear the government, give instructions of how to take care of ourselves and each other, I think we have a responsibility to be a leader in that, and we just want to do that in a responsible way.